All right, thanks, guys. Happy Wednesday to you. We went 4-0 in our premium selections yesterday on patreon.com/Brock Page. That's going to put us at 36, 13, and 2 in our last 51 daily double picks on that site. You can also access my current record for free right there on the homepage. That is patreon.com/Brock Page. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some NBA quick picks. We're going to break down, just the line movement a little bit. We're not going to dive too far into the trends. We're just going to go ahead and follow the movement, a couple of the lines, the odds, and just pick a winner. We're going to make it pretty quick and simple here today. And then the farther we get into the next couple of weeks, we'll dive into some more ATS stats and statistics and all that good stuff. But anyway, NBA is finally here. We had a great opening night yesterday. I went 2-0 on the sides for our YouTube leans right here on Brock Page Productions. So let's go ahead and see if we can do some more of the same. And we're going to go ahead and begin with Chicago taking on Charlotte. Now that's going to be a 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in the Queen City. Chicago's -3 on the road. Totals 218.5. We saw a 1-point move toward Chicago and movement upward on the total. The Bulls open -2 up to -3. Total open 217 up to 218.5. 70% of the consensus are leaning Chicago Bulls, 53% shaded toward the over. Right now, Charlotte is +130 on the money line. I like Charlotte in this spot here. Bit of a dumpster fire organization over the past couple of years, but I do like them catching points at home. I'm going to lean Charlotte +3 and the under 218.5 in that game. Next matchup, it is going to be Pistons taking on the Pacers. 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Indiana. The Pacers are 7.5, total 210. Saw a 2.5-point move toward Indiana, movement upward on the total. The Pacers open 5 up to 7.5, total open 209 up to 210. 54% of the consensus are leaning toward Indiana, 59% leaning toward the over. Right now, Detroit is +255 on the money line. I like them in this spot here. I'm going to purchase the 0.5 point, buy it up, and take Detroit +8 and the under 210 in that game. Next matchup, Cavaliers, Magic, 7 o'clock Orlando. The Magic are -8, total 212.5. We saw a 0.5 point move toward Orlando and a 0.5 point move upward on the total. The Magic opened 7.5 up to -8, total open 212 up to 212.5. 66% are leaning Orlando, 67% shaded toward the over. Right now, Cleveland is +290 on the money line. I like Orlando in this spot here at home. I'm going to lean Magic -8 and the under 212.5 in that game. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines of personal leans out for Wednesday's NBA action. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. The weekend is almost here. It's right around the corner. Now, before we go ahead and move on in the NBA, I just want to quickly remind you once again to check me out on my website at patreon.com/Brock Page, where we went 4-0 in our premium selections yesterday on that site. That's going to improve our record to 36, 13, and 2 in our last 51 daily double picks. We do daily plays on that site. We have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to, beginning at just $1.99 per month. You can also access my current record for free right on the homepage. You don't even have to sign up for anything. All you have to do is click the link in the description section below. That is patreon.com/Brock Page. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some more lines of personal leans. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got the Timberwolves taking on the Nets. 7:30 Eastern tip-off in Brooklyn. The Nets are 3.5, total 225 and a hook. Saw a 1.5 point fade of Brooklyn. Movement downward on the total. The Nets open 5 down to 3.5. Total open 226.5 down to 225 and a hook. 61% of the consensus are leaning toward Brooklyn. 67% shaded toward the over. Right now, Minnesota's +145 on the money line. I like Brooklyn in this spot here at home. I'm going to buy the hook, buy it up, and take Brooklyn +4 and the over 225.5 in this game. The next matchup, Grizzlies, Heat. 7:30 Miami. The Heat are 7.5, total 212. So a 0.5 point move toward Miami and a big 4 point move upward on the total. Miami open 7, up to 7.5. Total open 208, up to 212. 66% are leaning Heat, 60% shaded toward the over. Right now, Memphis is plus 280 on the money line. Memphis very good at slowing the pace down. Not a great team offensively, but like I said, they really do slow the pace down. Kind of tough to beat this team by double digits unless you're a real juggernaut. Not sure if Miami is that juggernaut. I'm going to buy the half a point, purchase it up, and take Memphis plus 8 and the under 212 in that matchup there. Next game, Celtics, Sixers, 7:30 South Philly. The Sixers are 5.5 total, 212 and a hook. We saw a half a point fade of Philly and movement downward on the total. Philly opened 6, down to 5.5. Total open 213, down to 212 and a hook. 57% are leaning Sixers. 62% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Celtics are plus 185 on the money line. Boston has dominated this series over the past couple of seasons. No matter what the records are, who's playing, who's not, Boston has really done a nice job taking care of the number against this Philly squad. I'm going to buy the hook, buy it up, and take Boston plus 6 and the under 212.5 in that game. Next matchup, Wizards, Mavs, 8:30 Dallas. The Mavs are 8.5, total 223. Saw a half a point move toward Dallas, movement upward on the total. The Mavs open 8, up to 8.5. Total open 222, up to 223. 57% are leaning Dallas, 61% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Wizards are plus 315 on the money line, and they're a bit of a dumpster fire themselves. I'm going to buy the hook, buy it down, and take Dallas minus 8 and the over 223 in that game. Next matchup, Knicks taking on the Spurs, and that is going to be a 8:30 Eastern tip-off in San Antonio. The Spurs are 10.5, total at 214. Saw movement toward the Spurs and movement downward on the total. San Antonio opened 7.5 all the way up to 10.5. Total open 216 and a hook, down to 214 flat. 65% are leaning Spurs, 69% leaning toward the over. Right now the Knicks are plus 440 on the money line. I do like the Knicks catching double digits. Normally Pop does not decimate teams by double digits, especially early in the season. So I like the Knicks in this spot here. I'm going to buy the hook, purchase it up, and take the Knicks plus 11 and the over 214 in that matchup. And we're going to slide into our next game. That's going to be the Thunder taking on the Jazz, 9 o'clock Utah. The Jazz are minus 8.5, total 224. We saw a 1.5 point fade of Utah for some reason, and we saw a 5-point move upward on the total. The Jazz open minus 10, down to 8.5. Total open 219, all the way up to 224. 62% of the consensus are leaning Utah, 61% shaded toward the over. Right now, OKC is plus 350 on the money line. I like Utah in this spot here. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm going to buy the hook, slide it down. Utah's great at home. Give me the Jazz minus 8 and the over 224 in that game. All right, next matchup, it is going to be Kings, Suns, 10 o'clock, Phoenix. The Kings are 1.5, total 232 and a hook. So a half a point move towards Sacramento, movement upward on the total. The Kings open 1, up to 1.5, total open 231, up to 232 and a hook. 67% are leaning Sacramento, 52% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Suns are plus 104 on the money line. I can't imagine the Suns getting the job done here in a shootout. I think we'll see a lot of points, but on the most part, for the Kings. So I'm going to purchase the half a point, buy it down just in case, and take Sacramento minus 1 in the over 232.5 in that game. And we're going to slide into our next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be Nuggets, Blazers, 10 o'clock, Portland. The Blazers are minus 1, total 219.5. Saw a half a point fade of Portland and movement upward on the total. The Blazers open 1.5, down to 1. Total open 219, up to 219.5. 55% are leaning Portland, 75% shaded toward the over. Right now, Denver is plus 103 on the money line. Denver's a great team, but does not win a majority of their games on the road. They do most of their damage at home. I mean, we're talking typically 75% winners at home for this team, but when they get out of the Mile High City, things don't always look so great. I like Portland in this spot here. I'm going to lean Blazers -1 in the over 219.5 in that matchup there. We're going to go ahead and slide into our shout-outs brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage. Shout out to G. Tier 2 Sports Picks, who looks like he's got a YouTube channel of his own, and I actually checked it out yesterday. Looks like he bets at the Sugar House Casino down there in Philly. Looks like Sugar House alongside of the Piers, Penn's Landing. So anyway, good to see you, G. Tier 2 Sports Picks. And if you guys have some time, check out his channel. He actually posts his tickets there too, which is really cool to look at. So anyway, G. Tier 2 Sports Picks. Good to see you in the comments section. Got to give a shout out to Sydney NY. Sydney, you're a nut. Shout out to PMC05. Great to see you again. I know that PMC05 very active in the comments section during the NBA season. So like clockwork, great to see you in the comments section. Got to give a shout out to Trent Barnett, Ace Hardy, Ronnie Christie. Shout out to Stephen Lewis, great friend of mine. He's got a channel of his own. If you guys are into sports betting, sports content, he's got a great channel. And really, he does a lot of picks and multi-legged parlays on his Twitter handle. So Stephen Lewis hit a 10-leg teaser on Monday. And check him out. Typically, Stephen will post his Twitter handle in the comments section. So feel free to check him out. Steve's a good friend of mine, and overall just a really creative sports bettor. He's very creative and hits a lot of these very exotic parlays and teasers. So anyway, shout out to you, Stephen Lewis. Shout out to KDC19941. Shout out to Sammy Elio, Kevin Lyondale. Shout out to Army Boy 708, Jay Norman. Hey Jay, we've been tailing the Panthers the past couple of weeks. I know you got to show me some love there. Shout out to Wireless Crown 48. Shout out to Mike Keegan, a good friend of mine, Mike Keegan, always supportive in the comments section. Shout out to you, Mike. Thank you so much for your support. Shout out to Munchy Crunchy, Jonathan Gonzalez, the U-Dog, Ulysses Hayes. Good to see you, Peanut. And hey, man, we're still got to get that Atlantic City trip going. I'll keep you posted in the comments section. Shout out to Randy Groves, who said you can't bet against the Astros at home. I'll tell you what, Randy, you got burned in that one, man. I actually hit I did an in-game on that when Washington was down 2-0 early. I was able to catch Washington plus 2.5 on the in-game run line for plus 105. So I was feeling very good about that. And as soon as I placed that bet, Zimmerman hit that bomb. Great to see him doing well after, 15 seasons for the Nats. But anyway, Randy Groves said, can't bet against the Astros at home. Let's see, maybe if you make that play tonight, it might pay off for you. We shall see. But always good to see you in the comment section, Randy Groves. Got to give a shout out to Vinny Smooth, Renarino, RMZ, Jake Bobby 305. Dude, I still love you. I still see you in the comment section. Got to show some love to my man, Jake Bobby 305. And then last but certainly not least, got to give a shout out to Trevor Conser, who says, Lakers win clearly, New Orleans to upset Toronto. I'll be taking this fool's job. Well, yeah, won't be taking it today because you lost both of those picks. But better luck this time. And, hell, maybe you'll go 8-0 tonight. Who knows? But anyway, shout out to you, Trevor Conser. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on patreon.com/BrockPage, where we are 4-0 in our last 4 premium selections on that site. That's going to put us at 36-13-2 in our last 51 daily double picks. You can access my current record right there on the homepage. That is patreon.com/BrockPage. But most importantly, I got to thank you for tuning in right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Wednesday to you. Best of luck to you. And don't forget to check me out on patreon.com/BrockPage.